Okay, it's time to put a radiator in here, at least get some preliminaries going on it. And we had this temporary brace across here to keep the frame rails at the proper width when we cut this larger cross member out down here. So we're going to take this temporary brace out now that we've got the Mustang 2 cross member in here. We're going to take this temporary brace out and then clean up some of this action here on these jagged pieces here and here. Get those to clean up, so we're going to do that now. Switch to the Sawzall. Part of that pan. Gonna be a rebuild down there. But I've got a dent in the nose up here. I think I'm gonna cut part of this out and whack around on that just a little bit before I put that radiator in here, because I'll end up forgetting about it and then I won't be able to take a swing at it with the radiator in there. So let's do that next. Well, my fan didn't make it today. I do have another fan here though that I am gonna put on there. Get that lined up. Get the spacer lined up. that should give me an idea. I can definitely shorten these hoses up. Let's find the thermostat housing. Got the thermostat housing on here. Just enough bolt to hold it on there. Kind of jimmy rigged it there so I can cut this hose off, which I thought went on here like this. There she is. Okay, we're gonna have to cut quite a bit off the bottom hose. It's plenty long. Plenty of clearance on the fan. Got her slipped over the fitting there. Something like that. Let's trim some hoses up. Come way back, deeper in. And up just a fuzz. Just a block of wood or something there to bring that radiator up. I think this one will work. I'd like to get this bottom one going here first. I think if it slides around, there's a little rotation on the water pump there. Oh yeah, I like that a lot better. Let's put a mark on that one and trim that. Grab the marker here. Pop her out of there. Just right there beyond the curve. Should be good. Go long first. Always go long. Always cut more off. Let me start a notebook on this car too, because I've still got some numbers on these hoses. While I still remember what some of this stuff is. that will work out nicely. Needs to be slid on the lower neck there just a little bit further. Still got the plastic bag on there, but yeah, let's work on this other one a little bit. This upper guy over here. Close enough on the center, close enough on my depth. I think, again, I'll cut it long, which basically just going to cut that flare off of this guy. Time to sharpen the old pocket knife. Think that'll work. Might cut a little more off of that. Bring it forward a little bit. This is not quite a 90 down here at the thermostat housing. I got room to trim a little more off of that one. This bottom one over here needs to slide on a little more. But I feel confident I can make these hoses work. But I've got a couple of shrouds. I actually got 3 different shrouds, and none of them close. We may have to build a shroud. That's spot on center, and the tilt forward and aft looks good. This is just loosely put on there, so pretty centered. Got enough room there for transmission lines. I think the fan I have ordered is another inch smaller in diameter than this one. This one's cracked. It's junk, but it's going to get me close. So then I just got to figure out some mounting brackets, which should be able to easily come right off the frame. Right off the frame down here. Come up this back side, then that'll leave the front side holes open to mount the condenser on. All right. That hose there ought to work good. That one down there should work pretty good as well. Little adjustment, little rotation and moving them around in place. All right, I feel better about it. Okay, I had this rough fit in there with the old fan there, and I got my new fan today. So we're going to go ahead and bolt the fan on, take the radiator out, put the fan on there, and see if we can't get a more proper fit. Just had this one held in place. Packaging. Ugh. You always want to be aware of how long your bolts are. If you remember one time, I think I had longer bolts, and they went through and hit the webbing on the water pump. Or somebody happened that to them. Had that happen to them. Maybe it wasn't me, but it could happen. Let's tighten those. Okay, now we can set the radiator in pretty tight right here. That'll leave us enough room back here. We're pretty far back. End up doing some firewall work. Get a decent height in here. Set up and investigate some brackets and probably do some more trimming on those hoses. Okay, we took a little bit off of the top of this one. Kind of like that. A little bit pinchy right there. Can cheat a little bit on that. That'll be fine. I like that. Just enough room in there. Never be able to take it out without putting taking the radiator out. And we could take a little bit more off of those hoses. But we've got acres of room out here. I kind of like it. I like the little gap here. If I build a shroud, it's going to have to come back a little bit anyway. Give us enough room to put a shroud on there. I got a couple of shrouds, but I also got shorter spacers here if I need to, so I'm fine with it being where it's at. I'm gonna write those hose numbers down so I can replace those if need be in the future. It seems to clear the steering rack down here fine. Clears the fan there fine. Transmission lines go in here. I'm an inch away from that one. We'll check this one over here just to make sure. Plenty of room there. Fan blade just above the tank there. Fan blade just at the... It's pretty well centered up and down. Left to right. She's pretty good with the old cap there in line. So now I need to figure out some brackets on the side of the frame here coming up. And I'd like to, like I said, bolt those on this back side to hold the radiator. That would leave me the front holes here to put my evaporator out here. Alright, let's find what we, figure out what we need to do that. little baggies off. Make sure that clears the transmission ports down there. Centers up really nice in the radiator. Up and down right there at that height. I think if I get that lower hose on there all the way, on the nipple, bottom out, it will be just right. This upper one I think is going to have to be trimmed off a little bit. Let's try pushing that one on there. Easier said than done. This one here though, I think we might have to get in here a little tighter. Hang on to it. Incredible. Gee, many crickets. Okay, we're gonna have to back up. So I've cut this little bracket out. Actually, I've cut two of these out. We're gonna break along the dotted lines there, and this will mount between the frame and the, I suppose call it the inner fender well, and then we're going to bolt the radiator bottom to that. Let's break these over now. Not sure I can get this in. And this one, I'm going to try to do the angle first. Hopefully it'll set in the brake a little better. If not, we'll get by. Still a problem. We'll make it work. Let's see what happens. And we probably should have done the square edge first. This is kind of going over the back of the brake there, but it'll be good enough. This little piece here. I think this will be the right hand side. Like thus. And it might be too short. And the radiator needs to be pushed into place. Let's try the other side. We've already got it cut. So this is what I got in mind for this lower attachment. It'd be welded to the inner fender panel and then to the top of the frame there. And a bolt's going to go through it right there. Got the same thing mirrored on this side. Let's get those tacked in place. Couple of tacks on the back side. Got 3 tacks on the back, 3 tacks on the front. Let's see if that'll hold her in place. Typical fashion, I failed to start the camera, but I built these brackets here, one on each side, that come off of the inner fender there. And eventually what I'll probably do is hold the light, maybe. Then I'll come off of here with the piece, come up a little bit, and that will hold my condenser in. And also something at the bottom on those 2 down there. Holding it in there really good. Now I think we're going to work on a fan shroud. Well, I got this radiator in there, and I'm going to put a brace across the top of here, hold the condenser in place. But I don't have the condenser now, so I'm just going to leave those in there. And while I wasn't filming, I built this little fan shroud and got it in there. Everything's just kind of temporary bolted in there. But I think I'm going to call that a video, and we're going to move on. And also got to do these inner fenders, but I'm not going to do that today. Call that a video on this, and we're going to move on and work on something else.